The sirens echoed through the dark, rainy streets. Jungkook ran after the suspect, his uniform already soaked, his gun pointed straight. Drop the weapon, he shouted. His voice made the man froze for a second before Jungkook's team caught up and pinned him down. Within seconds, the scene was handled, cuffs clicked, and it was over. Nice work, John, one of his teammates said, patting his shoulder. Jungkook just nodded. Yeah, let's finish up and head back. He was tired. He had been working on the same case for days, barely sleeping, barely eating. His life had turned into a loop of chasing, questioning, writing reports, and running again. By the time he got home, it was already past 8. He pushed the door open and let out a tired sigh, tossing his jacket on the couch. The apartment was quiet except for a faint sweet smell. He frowned a little, then walked toward the kitchen, and there it was. Small chocolate cake sitting on the counter. It was a little uneven, the icing slightly messy, but it looked warm and full of love. The words written on top made his lips twitch into a small smile. To my officer. I noticed the note next to it and picked it up carefully. I hope this makes your day sweeter. I baked it myself. Please don't forget to eat properly. Ryan. He stared at your handwriting for a few seconds before letting out a soft chuckle. She really did it, he muttered under his breath. She actually baked a cake for me. He leaned against the counter, still looking at it. She never changes, always doing these small things for me, and I can't even give her a proper dinner date. He rubbed the back of his neck, guilt slowly creeping in. I'm always busy. She waits, she worries, and still finds ways to make me feel loved. He let out a long breath. Once this case ends, I'll make it up to her. I'll do it properly this time. A small smile curved on his lips as he thought about it. I'll propose. 7 years. She deserves more than this busy, boring cop. He smiled softly at the cake again. You'll be my wife soon, Ryan. Just wait a little longer. He was about to call you to thank you, just then his phone started ringing. He checked the screen, Abby calling. He answered quickly, thinking it might be something serious. Hey Abby, is everything okay? There was a small pause before she spoke, sounding a little upset. So you really didn't remember, huh? Remember what? He asked, frowning. She sighed loudly. My birthday, idiot. What kind of best friend you are, huh? Oh no, Jungkook muttered under his breath. Abby, I'm sorry. I've been working non-stop. I swear I didn't mean to forget. Yeah, you always say that, she mumbled. I waited for you to wish me, but I should know better to expect anything from you. Whatever. Just come to my party, okay? I sent you the address. Everyone is already waiting. Right now? Yes, right now. And don't come empty handed this time. Before he could reply, she hung up. Jungkook stared at the screen, then looked at the clock. Almost 9 p.m. He groaned and rubbed his temple. Of course, tonight of all nights. He looked around his apartment, searching for something to take as a gift. Gift, damn. I didn't even buy one. Then his eyes landed on the cake again. He tilted his head, muttering to himself, Abby loves chocolate and this cake looks amazing. He smiled a little. Ryan would be happy if I share it anyway. And it's better than showing up with nothing. He grabbed his jacket again and dialed your number while picking up the cake carefully. Hey, you answered softly. You are home? Yeah, he said quickly. Baby, can you get ready in like 15 minutes, okay? Huh? Why? It's Abby's birthday. She just called. I completely forgot. She wants me to come over and I'm taking you with me. You blinked surprised. Oh, okay, but you didn't tell me anything earlier. What about her gift? He glanced at the cake box. Don't worry about it. I've got something perfect. You didn't ask more, thinking he had already planned something. As he walked toward the door, he smiled down at the cake again, shaking his head lightly. She really puts her heart into everything. She'll love it. It's sweet, it's thoughtful, and it's made by the woman I love. What could be better? He didn't even realize the irony in his own words. Jungkook parked the car outside her building and leaned back in his seat for a second, exhaling. The day had been long, but somehow just knowing he would see you made the exhaustion fade a little. A few minutes later, you stepped out of your apartment building, fixing the strap of your small purse on your shoulder. You weren't dressed fancy, just a simple top with jeans, your hair loose and face fresh with barely any makeup. But to Jungkook, you looked effortlessly beautiful. He couldn't help smiling as you approached. You look wow, he said softly, eyes following you as you got into the car. You laughed lightly. You're exaggerating. I didn't even get time to do my hair properly. Still beautiful, he said under his breath, starting the car. The drive was mostly quiet, music playing faintly from the radio. You rested your head against the window, watching the lights pass by. Jungkook glanced at you once or twice, wondering if you were tired or just in one of those quiet moods. The party was already going strong when you two walked in. Abby's house was bright, filled with laughter, music, and people chatting in every corner. The moment she saw Jungkook, Abby gasped dramatically and ran over to him. My god, look who finally decided to show up, she said, lightly hitting his arm. You, sir, are officially the worst best friend ever. Jungkook laughed, scratching the back of his neck. Yeah, I know. I'm sorry, I completely forgot. Forgot? She cut him off, pretending to glare. You didn't even wish me, John Jungkook. 15 years of friendship, and I didn't even get a text. Guilty, he said, raising his hands. I have been buried under work, Abby. I'm making it up to you, though. Her expression softened a bit when she noticed you standing beside him. Oh, you brought a girlfriend? She said, smiling brightly. Hi, Ryan. I'm so glad you came. I have seen your pictures, but you are even prettier in person. You smiled politely. Thank you. Happy birthday, Abby. Abby grinned, clearly happy to have both of you there. Alright, come on. Food is there. Everyone is waiting in the living room. Did you bring me something, Mr. Detective? Jungkook chuckled and lifted the cake box from his hand. Of course, open it. Abby gasped, her eyes lightening up as she opened the box. Oh my god, a chocolate cake? John Jungkook, you know me so well, she said excitedly. It looks so perfect. I love it. Your smile faltered instantly. You stared at the cake, the same one you made with so much love and care, now sitting in someone else's hands, surrounded by cheers and laughter. You forced a small smile when she looked at you, but it didn't reach your eyes. It's beautiful, Abby continued, looking at the cake in awe. Where did you get it from at this hour? Jungkook smiled proudly. Ryan baked it, he said, nodding toward you. Abby blinked. Wait, seriously? Yeah, he said with a soft smile, his eyes shining when he looked at you. She has been taking baking classes lately, her first proper cake. Abby's eyes widened. No way, that's amazing, Ryan. It looks professional. You are seriously talented. Managed to nod slightly. Thanks. Abby wasn't done. I didn't know you were into baking. That's so cute. You have to make me one again. Someday. You smiled faintly but didn't respond. Jungkook chuckled and said proudly, she has been surprising me non-stop. I'm honestly so proud of her. Abby looked between you two and grinned. Aw, you two are adorable. Seriously, if I didn't know you were a cop, I would say you are secretly a poet, Jungkook. He laughed, rubbing the back of his neck again. Guess she brings out that side of me. The evening went on, music, laughter, pictures, and endless chatter. Jungkook was in his usual charming mode, blending with everyone. Being his calm but warm self, Abby kept dragging him into conversations, teasing him about his work, and you stayed quiet most of the time, smiling only when someone spoke directly to you. Every time you glanced at the table and saw the cake sitting there, it stung a little. You remember the way you had stood in your kitchen earlier that day, trying to make it perfect because it was for him. You wanted him to eat the first slice, to smile, maybe tease you about how uneven the frosting was. But instead, it sat there now, surrounded by candles and cheers belonging to someone else. When Abby finally cut the cake, she made Jungkook feed her a bite while everyone clapped and teased them. Your stomach twisted slightly, but you just looked away, pretending to sip your drink. Abby turned toward you with a wide smile. Ryan, you have to taste this. You made it after all. You shook your head lightly. I'm fine, I'll try later. Come on, she insisted, but Jungkook placed a gentle hand on her shoulder. She's probably tired. We'll save a piece. He said softly, glancing at you, but you didn't look back. He could tell something was off. You were too quiet, too still. When it was finally time to leave, Abby hugged you tightly. You're really sweet, Ryan. I hope we can hang out sometimes without this grumpy officer. She joked. You smiled politely again. Sure, happy birthday once again. Jungkook waved to her. See you soon, Abby. Don't eat all that cake alone. Abby laughed. You wish. As you both walked out, the cool night air hit your face. Jungkook opened the car door for you and glanced sideways. You okay? He asked softly. You nodded quickly. Yes, very much. Your tone did made him feel that you weren't, but he didn't push further. Alright, let's go home. But the drive back was silent, too silent. Jungkook kept glancing at you, feeling something heavy in the air, something he couldn't name yet, and while he hummed quietly to the radio, your thoughts kept circling back to that cake, the one he never even tasted. He cleared his throat softly. You okay? You hummed without looking at him. Didn't look like you had fun at the party. You shrugged. Guess I wasn't in the mood. He frowned. That was odd. You always loved meeting people, always found something to smile about. Tonight you hadn't smiled once, not even when Abby hugged you or when Jungkook cracked one of his usual lame jokes. He tried again. Abby really liked the cake, huh? He said lightly, smiling to himself. She kept asking about your classes. I told her you have been learning fast. That was it, the small crack in your composure. Your fingers curled slightly on your lap. He caught it the way your lips pressed tight. Wine? He asked softly, turning to look at you. You just said, I'm tired, and kept your eyes on the window. He didn't push after that. Dropped you home, leaning a bit to kiss your cheek before you got out. You moved slightly, so it brushed your hair instead. He blinked, confused. Good night? You nodded. Night. And the door shut. For the next 2 days, he thought maybe you were just tired, long work hours, maybe PMS, maybe just a bad mood, but then he noticed the small things. No good morning texts, no random eat your lunch calls, no picture of your new baked experiments. You had never been silent like this, even during his shifts. When he was supposed to be focused, his mind wandered. While reviewing a suspect's file, his phone buzzed. He looked, but it wasn't you. His colleague nudged him. You good, John? Yeah, he muttered, staring at his silent screen. Just distracted. That night he came home, looked at the empty space on the counter where your cake had once sat, and sighed. He grabbed his car keys. You were in your pajamas, hair tied in a messy bun, pacing back and forth in your apartment like a ticking bomb. Unbelievable. You muttered under your breath. He literally gifted my cake to another girl. Your phone buzzed again, Jungkook calling. You declined it for the 100th time, but then a few minutes later, knock. You froze. Oh, he really had the guts to show up. Wyan, he called out, voice softer this time. I know you're home. Please open the door. You stood inside debating for a few seconds before finally unlocking it. He was there, hair a little damp, wearing his grey hoodie, hands shoved into his pockets. He looked tired, but his eyes, they were full of worry. He exhaled. So, we are doing the silent treatment now, huh? You crossed your arms. Maybe I'm just tired, like I said. He huffed a small laugh. Yeah, tired for 2 days straight. Come on, Ryan. You have ignored my texts, my calls, and even skipped our coffee date. He stayed quiet. He tilted his head slightly, his voice softening. Did I do something wrong? That was when it slipped out, not anger but disappointment. You really don't know? He frowned. No, I. Then he stopped, remembering the party, the cake. Oh, his face fell. It's the cake, isn't it? You looked away. Your jaw tightened. Forget it. Why in? Go back to your criminals, officer. Already did. Now I'm here to deal with my most dangerous one, you. He said, following you inside. You glad. Funny. Should have thought about that before you took my cake and handed it to another woman. He winced. Okay, that sounds bad when you say it like that. Oh, how else should I say it? You took my cake that I baked for you, for your tired self, and then he cut you off gently, stepping closer. I know, I'm stupid. I saw that cake and thought it was too beautiful, too perfect for just me. I thought it would be even better if someone else got to see how amazing you are. You scoffed. So you basically flexed me. He blinked. Kinda. Wrong answer. You tried to shut the door, but he caught it with one hand, the other holding out the bag. Wait. I come in peace. You eyed him suspiciously. What's that? He grinned boyishly. A peace offering, well, a half-point one. You raised a brow. Don't tell me you baked. He finished proudly, showing you the little chocolate cake inside. The icing was a mess, the sides uneven, and one corner was definitely leaning. It's ugly, but it's made with guilt, regret, and a bit of panic. You tried not to laugh but failed. Panic? He nodded solemnly. You weren't answering my calls. I thought you had deleted my number and moved to another city. You rolled your eyes but couldn't stop smiling. Drama queen. I'm serious, he said, stepping closer. Wayne, I'm sorry. I was so busy. I didn't think straight. I just saw the cake and I don't know, my brain short circuited. You tilted your head, teasing. And the great officer John can't think without backup? He smirked. Not when it comes to you. You try to hide the small smile threatening to appear. Flattery won't work this time. He sighed dramatically, placing the cake on your table. Then I'll use plan B. You raised a brow. Plan B? He reached into his jacket pocket, not for his gun but for a small velvet box. Your eyes widened. Jungkook. He knelt slightly, opening it. I was saving this for after the case ended, but since I already messed up, might as well fix it properly. You stare at him, arms still crossed, but your lips trembling with emotion. Fine, he said softly. I want to come home to you every day, not just to your cake or your notes, but you, all of you, even your lectures, especially your lectures. You blinked back tears, but your sass didn't die that easily. You are proposing while I'm mad at you. He nodded. I figured if you say yes now, you'll definitely mean it. You burst into laughter, shaking your head. You are impossible, but irresistible, he added, hopeful, eyes glinting. You sighed, pretending to think, maybe a little. Enough to get a kiss? Not a chance. He grinned, then I'll earn it. And before you could say anything, he scooped up a spoonful of the half burnt cake and held it out to you. Taste, please, I swear. It's not a weapon. You laughed, taking a tiny bite, and instantly grimaced. Oh my god, that's awful, he groaned. See, I need you in my life or I'll starve. You tried to stay annoyed, but his goofy grin, his damp hair, the way he looked at you like you were his entire world, it melted you anyway. You sighed and finally wrapped your arms around him. You are lucky I love you, John Jungkook. He smiled against your hair. Best luck I have ever had. You pulled back slightly, teasing, but next time if you touch my cake. He laughed, cutting in. I'll handcuff myself before I do. You grinned. Goodbye, officer. And as the night settled around you two, the world felt calm again, a little chaotic, a little messy, but full of love, laughter, and burnt chocolate.